Police Services Division of the Germantown Police Department is responsible for administering and coordinating several key work units, department programs, and functions. These areas include the School Resource Officer Program, Community Relations, Training, the Reserve Officer Program, the Citizens Police Academy, City-sanctioned special events, employee recruitment, and coordination of the hiring process and initial onboarding for new police officers. The Police Services Division is led by Inspector Nick Godwin and Captain Josh Schultz.
Inspector Nick Godwin, Police Services. I started my career 17 years ago after attending college. First thing I did when Germantown hired me was attend the Memphis Police Academy. Upon graduating the academy, I started the FTO program for my field training with our current Deputy Chief, Mike Fisher, and then proceeded to be a patrolman for the next 7 years. During my time on patrol, I served as a crisis intervention officer, crime scene officer, and as a SWAT officer. I was promoted to the rank of lieutenant. Once I became a lieutenant, I continued to serve on the SWAT team as a team leader. I attended SECLA, the Southeast Command and Leadership Academy. Then I was promoted to the rank of captain, where I served as a uniform patrol captain and commander of the SWAT team. While I was a captain, I attended the FBI National Academy in Quantico, Virginia. Then I was promoted to the rank of inspector, where I command the Police Services Division.
Josh Schultz, captain with the Germantown Police Department. So I started with the Germantown Police Department in 2000. We had a program then called the Explorer Program. So I was 15 years old and I was a volunteer with the police department. Went through college, got hired on in 2007. I was sent to the Memphis Police Regional Training Academy. I graduated, came back to the city and started riding patrol. I did everything we could do in patrol. I was a CIT officer, crisis intervention. I was an FTO. I taught defensive tactics. I did a lot of things in that role as a patrolman. In 2015, I was promoted to lieutenant. In that position, I was teaching defensive tactics, firearms, all the things that the officers carry with them every day. And then in 2021, I was promoted to the rank of captain, where I now serve in the Police Services Division.
Police Services at GPD basically handles all things that aren't patrol, investigations, or communications related. Some of the duties we have is we manage the School Resource Officer Program, educating and protecting our schools with officers placed in those GMSD schools.
School resource officers are directly responsible for the safety of children in the Germantown Municipal School District. These officers have the training and resources to focus solely on the security of our children.
We handle training for the officers, their annual training, firearms training, other types of training they go through to stay up on their post-certification as police officers. We handle community engagement, so classes we teach the public like active shooter, situational awareness, cybercrime awareness, the Citizens Police Academy. We also handle the reserve program, so the reserve police officers that volunteer for special events.
The city's reserve police officers are a critical part of the mission of the Germantown Police Department. The reserve program consists of a group of volunteers who give their time to support the functions of the police department.
My name is Jerry Shaw. I'm reserve here at Germantown. I work at St. Jude, so I'm a healthcare provider. A reserve officer here in Germantown, what we do is we augment the full-timers as far as like working special events. We do some riding with them and work with them on their 8-hour shifts. I do it for 2 reasons. One, I've always wanted to be in law enforcement my whole entire life. However, I migrated to medicine instead, but it's still there, still in the background. So it's kind of satisfying that. Also, I get to work with a great bunch of guys that are full-time out here.
So far this year, the Germantown Police Department reserve officers have logged approximately 1,151 hours of service to our community. These officers lower the burden on full-time officers, reducing the overtime costs for the city. Reserve officers are proud to serve the community for only $1 a year in compensation. The Community Relations team is responsible for conducting an array of educational classes ranging from active shooter training to cybercrime awareness and situational awareness. These courses allow GPD to engage face-to-face with residents, hear their concerns, and improve their safety through education.
There was a good saying I heard a while back from a deputy chief, and it was, "We police because the public allows us to police." So we're strong believers in, we want to have that engagement with the community where we can not only provide them with training and tools to make them safer, but we can get feedback from them on what it is they want from us, what they want as citizens for their police department to do, and that we can serve them in that way to make sure they're getting the type of policing they feel they need for their community.
The relationship between the police department and the citizens is very critical. For me, it's personal. So I grew up in Germantown. I spent my formative years here. My family still lives here, raised children here. So for me, it's very, very important that we have that strong bond with the community. the biggest benefit we see is that people are comfortable calling us when they see something wrong or they see something suspicious. That's why I feel like that relationship is so important to have. You know, other agencies don't have that, and we're very lucky here that we have, and we're supported by that community.
When you go around town, especially after teaching some of the courses we teach the public and doing the community engagement, you see people you know. Their kids recognize you from teaching a safety class at the school, or somebody recognized you because they're a teacher and you taught them active shooter, or they recognize you from an event or a call you were on, and they come and they talk about things that happen or ways that maybe you help make them safer, and then you feel like with this career and what you're doing that you're actually doing something to help the community, and it just makes you feel good about what you've done for your job.
Because we have that strong relationship with the community, they like to come up to us and thank us for things, or talk to us about the game last night. You know, I love that interactive relationship we have with the community.
The most important facet of the Police Services Division is the recruitment, hiring, and onboarding of new police officers. It has always been the policy of the GPD to hire for character and for those that embody the values of the City of Germantown. Although this process requires more effort, it has incredible value in the long term for Germantown residents.
So the qualities and characteristics we look for when we're recruiting a new officer comes down to character. We look and we hire for character. If they have training and certifications, that's great, but what's more important to us is we get the person that is going to handle those calls and be the most trustworthy, best officer we can give our citizens, and we will get them the training and certifications they need later.
We're entrusted by the citizens to serve them in a particular way, at a particular level of service, and I need to trust that you're a good person and that you'll do that as a police officer in Germantown. Not everybody passes that test, and that's okay, because not everybody can do this job.
If you have interest in becoming a reserve police officer, setting up situational awareness training, or have any other questions, don't hesitate to contact Lieutenant Sievers at 901-757-7344 or by email at rsievers@germantown-tn.gov.